So, hi. I'm gonna make this on, I guess, just to see if it's like going, and we're just gonna see how this works, I guess. It up like I could hear it, but now I'm like, how is this one? Will it vibe? Will it pass the vibe? Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can hear myself, because it's like, alright, so I can hear myself. It's just that Restream isn't having my face on it for some reason. I don't really know why, but we'll go with that. I just have no face at this moment. The no face, everything we can think of stream number 15, part 2, right? So then we're gonna do music, and we're gonna put Chill Hop back because I was vibing with that. Let me see. Alright. This laptop is falling apart. I was honestly I'm gonna make like a post tomorrow about how I need help with getting funds to like my laptop running again. So like difficulties, you know. Like if I do it so late now, I don't know how it works out. We'll figure it out, right? Man. I had to call it part 2. Every time that we try to be another kind of life, every day, every time I don't know what else is out. You tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. It seems like we're just trying to be. Every day, every time, every light, I try to be another kind every time. Every life, I don't really want to go on to be another kind of way out of here. Every time that we had gone on, I don't mean to be. Yeah, do you hear me? What's up? I feel like it seems it should be working, but I know that my avatar is not upright. I could probably do this on my phone. If it doesn't work, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna put it on my phone. Can you hear me? Every time. Every time I try to be another kind of way back, I don't know what you think. Every day, every time I try to be. Maybe you can't. My favorite thing to do? Probably make music, play video games, or like game stuff with people in general. And just talk about people's like interests and stuff and like vibe and have a good time, you know? It's really fun to me. Yeah, proud of me. A pretty chill time. I've just been vibing. And I put like the chill hop back because I liked it. Like, y'all let me know if you can hear me. Da, 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 da. Like, there's technical difficulties. So, I mean, if this laptop doesn't go, I'll end up doing it on a phone or something. Oh, cool, you can't hear me. Alright. Y'all, like, I'm okay at Fortnite. Like, it's just shooter games in general are kind of like, bad at it. Like, COD, I'm really bad at it because it's like, it's just stuck on first person. I was like originally pretty good at Halo. But then, like, Fortnite, I do pretty alright. I do way better as a team with somebody. But I can, give my friend code. Let me get it. Da 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 da. Da. Da 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 da. Every time that we try to be every day that would be Acer. That's nice. Yeah, I like HP a lot. The only reason why I'm not using HP at the moment is because mine like got this weird kind of like hinge issue for a laptop. You know, it's like the hinge got kind of messed, so like the bottom of it's kind of messed, so they ended up messing with the fan too. So I'm wanting to fix that before I really start streaming because I don't know how bad it would be. Or the laptop if I did all that, and then it like gets really hot after like a while of me using it, but I don't want to like chance it and make it worse, you know. It's like I was using Chrome. Like this is actually a really giant Chrome laptop, and they're like, "Oh, it's not gonna update anymore," and so that's kind of been an issue. Which is why I'm like, I need like get the laptop going so I can go in more. But then also like I do commissions. If you all like look at my bio, I have stuff you could do. Microsoft server before I got my leave. That's fair. That's pretty. Really, I only get my friend code, so whoever wants to add me on there definitely can. And I love playing brawlhalla. Yeah, Chromebook is terrible. I'm never getting one again. And it was given to me. Like, no one used it for like a year or something. And then I'm like, okay, let me use it. And then they're like, no, we don't update it anymore. I'm like, what the fuck? Who in the actual hell? In Google hell side of that, you know? Like, legit. Every time I try to be away for your time. Yeah. But that is so true. Like, it's like, their products are very, very, like, you know, just in the sense of the bare minimum, here you go, that's you know? Like, holy heck. And which brands I think have the coolest hats? I honestly don't watch cable that much. I know I got cable, it's like basic, and I don't even really watch commercials that much. I kind of like zone out, and I get back to what I was watching. I haven't really seen any like latest ads, and it's like, honestly, Google, they do pretty alright, but then at the same time, like, I know how I don't really want to get them either, you know. And like iPhones, Apple, they seem to just be going by name more than anything. I don't even see any ads for them anymore. And Android is pretty cool, but I don't really see ads for them either. And good morning, Osang. Nice to see you around. Thanks for coming by. How's it going? What do you think, Pro? Like, what's something that really caught your attention? Oh yeah, and here's my Switch code. Then it'd be so nice if things could just like transfer from my brain. Yeah, that is so fair. Like, because so much media is made just to sell you something versus actually being genuinely good. Because, you know, capitalism, right? And it's like, why are they? Because it's like, so much of stuff is like, it's kind of like sad because like you know how they used to try when they first started and things are colorful, and now it's like this boring corporate bland thing, and it's like I feel like they just like kind of spit a wad of paper at me for a lot of these ads. Yeah, like the old iPod commercials were lit. Like, you know, like that part where they had like different colors, and then you saw how like the people had like the earphones in. It was pretty lit. It was also like, I don't know. I'd rather just use wired earphones. And I get like wireless is like useful in a way, but I'm kind of like having to charge my earphones is just not worth it to me half the time. You know. And it's like iPod in general. I don't like how it's like you gotta sue them for them to stop making this stuff like crash and burn so fast. But even then, it's like every couple of years you're gonna need a new one. Yeah, like they just were like, "Well, we got your money. We don't care anymore." You know, it's very like obvious, even though they want to like it's not. It just says a lot. And it's like, it's kind of like dang, because it's like all this stuff, and it's like, who do I trust? And a lot of them, like, you really can't. Because it's just a bunch of fucking mess, you know? And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot to like read them out. It's like, yeah, the ads get laid because the company has tons of money and they don't give a damn anymore. Yeah, what was that? Like, you know, response earlier. Then Brad says, never was too big on Apple, but the vibrant colors of the old ads and the dancing silhouettes of a popular tune playing was nice. Yeah, that was like actually pretty dang lit. It's like, dang, because that was like actually kind of got me into it, and then now it's like this amalgam of nonsense. Yeah, it really is. Like, the misinformation campaigns is literally trillions of dollars put into it, you know? And I just don't. It's just sad. Like, it's like the age of information, and here we are, people propagandizing. Propagandizing? Is that a word? I'll just say it is. Like, sheer information. And then, like, a lot of people just play into it because they don't want to, like, genuinely research. But then it's like, at the same time, it's like, for some things, it's like, dang, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And it's just like, damn. They just want to sell something to you. And then I think the thing that really bugs me is like they're like, here's these expensive products that are always gonna run out after a couple of years. And it's gonna be made cheap as fuck too, cheap as possible, right? But you still gotta pay top dollar for it. You gotta go into debt for a fucking phone. It's so like ridiculous to me. Like you can get an Android for like $30 that will do its job, you know. Yeah, even some info and it's truthful about the pandemic. The news lies about they will hit your nation claim or threaten to shut down your channel and platform. Yeah, like they literally don't even care. Let me look at my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but like it's just they don't want to care, and then it's like these platforms they keep people that are dangerous, they keep people that spread this further misinformation, and it just shows that they're more about whoever has the money to pay them off more than actually caring about information being, you know, used genuinely. And it's like, I guess I'm kind of like, I wish people could really see it, you know, but it just kind of seems like a lot of people don't really want to. That's the thing. That's what makes it so much harder. Because it's like they literally ignore latent information just for their like narrative agenda, whatever the fuck, you know. And it's like I truly just don't understand it. Like, why? Like, what do you gain? What does anyone gain from playing into that? Like, truly, like, isn't it just like detrimental to everyone at the end of the day? Even the person that's like propagandizing and like shoving the shit down everyone's throats, you know? And then like, I think the thing about it is that really gets me is like when they get informed about stuff and then people be mad at you for informing them. You know what I mean? Like the elites double their money and they do. It's all about money. That's a sad, and it's just so like people literally made up money. It's literally paper, and they're selling the souls for this shit. Hey Nagasaki, thanks for coming by. Nice to see you. I didn't make it like a huge post everywhere thing because I'm just vibing. I'm thinking of doing it for like an hour. And I'm like looking through my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like wanting to. I'm honestly like I got like a few. I got a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and I separated them pretty nice. And I can tell you all the different genres I got that I really like. I'm gonna get them. Honestly, I was over Pravnik's Child's live, and honestly, Nagasaki, I think you'd like his lives. It's like we're just talking about anything, you know, kind of like how mine are a bit, but it's just like really chill vibes and thoughtful. And I was like, I honestly had like a beer, a bit back. I'm not even really tipsy anymore, but it was nice. I was vibing, and I had like a gift card I found. We went and got some food, so that was nice too. Yeah, and like, okay. So I'll tell you all my like main ones first, just because I do love them, and I usually like play with them a lot. Yeah, for sure, it's awesome being on Proud. And finally tried that Peeps flavored Pepsi. How was it? Oh, it's good. That's dope. I did not want to be the first one to try it. But yeah, like my Yu-Gi-Oh deck, I got Go Giga Gaga Gigo deck. Do y'all know like anything about that at all? It's like one of the cards that really like tell the story of this person called of this lizard person called Giga Gaga Gigo, and like it goes through like at first it's like gigabyte, then gigabyte, then like go giga. Oh, it's like Giga Gaga Gigo, then it's like go Giga Gigo, and then it's like they have a new thing called Go Giga the Risen or something. Oh, cream soda is beautiful. I love it with like ice cream all the time and like root beer too. Yeah. Like it's so good too because it's like this character has like 2950 attack, right? And it's really cool because it goes through like his life, and like I'm actually gonna make a video on like this entire story, to be honest. And I'll give you like a synopsis. It's like basically he starts off like really small. It's like, you know, he's just a child lizard that's that has this premonition of like having his heart tainted by evil. And then he like grows like, and he's like a young evildoer or something that like goes into like various deeds. But then he finds this person named Avia. There's literally a car with like Avia and him in it, like when he's like a baby, and then when he's like an older lizard and stuff. And then it says that he was taught about justice by being around her and like really learning from her, which is really like sweet, honestly. And yeah, I bet. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, root beer float is life. You're right, Proud. And like, but yeah, and then it's like eventually he was looking for more power for some reason, because there's like some characters where he like fought like this. It's like this Impachi or something. Like it's a card of like wood that was cut down and then taken over and possessed by like an evil spirit and shit. It's like, what the fuck is this? But it's like really in depth. And like then he's like got these captains and stuff that he was trying to fight. He ended up getting beat and stuff. And then he like went to this guy named Kozaki, who's like a mad scientist, basically in any shape, way, or form. And it's really messed up because he got power, then he lost his mind. Like he has all these enchantments and stuff, and then he's like, he has no sense of actual justice. He's just always looking for power, you know. And then they have that card, Go Giga the Risen, and I'm like, I don't really know what happened to get to that point, but I'm really glad that they did that, because it actually made me really sad to think about like him being so like just stuck like that after all of that time, you know. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, Go Giga. This is like my favorite fucking deck, and I love that I have it just because of like randomized cards that I ended up getting. I really love it. And I'm honestly gonna get Duel Links. I'm gonna download it so I can like put all my cards in, so I can like play with people sometimes. So I'll let y'all know about that, because I fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh! Absolute nostalgia. And then it's like there's another one I have called Beast Warrior, and it's just all of my Beast Warriors in East and Roars and Winged Beasts, anything like that. And I have this one card that's like really fucking lit. I'm gonna open it so I can tell you all about it. Well, I have a few cards. I really like it because it's like one of my I usually go to it just because it's so like fucking. It just works. Like it just fucking works. But there's this one called Sword Hunter, and it's like a warrior effect, and it's like a monster destroyed by this card becomes an equipped magic card. You equipped it with the card to increase the attack of the monster by 200 points. The equipped card remains on the field until the card is destroyed. It has like 7 stars, and then its attack is already at 450, you know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then it's like, I'm just thinking, like, the thing is, when I think of a live action Yu-Gi-Oh, right, I think about how the fuck are they gonna do the hair? And how much they would fuck it up, because it's like, live action Yu-Gi hair just doesn't sound like it'll work out, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like really messed up because so much of media is just rehashed things that were already made, not actually like created like something new or anything. And then people just sell it because of nostalgia and rose-colored glasses or whatever. And then it's like, I don't know, it just really bothers me, because it's like we get sold these billion-dollar company things, and then they don't really even put in like genuine effort for that, you know what I mean? Oh, but I also got this other card called Phantom Beast Lizard. It's pretty fucking lit. I like it. It's like a Beast Warrior effect. If you're tributing like a Beast monster or beast, which I do have. I have both of those type of cards. It can be normal summoned with 1 tribute. And then when it destroys a monster in battle, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent. When it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can, by like an opponent's card effect, you can inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. and it has like an attack of 2200 and defense of 2000, and I fucking love that card. Most likely Dragon Ball Evolution was only accurate character was Chi-Chi. Dang. Sad. The only one out of all those people. Damn. But yeah, I've heard like not great things about like that movie. It's like I vaguely remember watching it or something, but then I was like, no. Because then they also did one on didn't they do one on Cowboy Bebop and another one on that one with the book that you could write people to die in? What was that? Y'all know what I'm talking about? The old Pokemon holographic cards, American and Japanese, were kick-ass too. Yeah, they fucking were. I really, like, and it's like kind of like dang, because it's like Yu-Gi-Oh's holographics mean they're fake. Like, you know, like, well, not specifically the hologram, but you know, like the ones that were like all rainbow and stuff. I love those, but I was like, oh yeah, that's a fake card. But I love when they do like those platinum gold editions and stuff, because it's just so like intricate and cool to me. But it's kind of wild because like some of those cards are like thousands of dollars now, and I'm like, I should every now and then I really should just like get a pack and just buy like one of those inexpensive packs just to see what I could get, you know? Because you never know, you know? Like sometimes you get really good cards, and like there was this one card I got. Like, it's in my Fiend and Zombie deck. It's a really major, it's like one of those major, ultimate, like, fighter cards, you know, where you add everything up to get. And it's called, TS, Source of Destruction, right? I fucking love it. The attack is 3400. Defense is 3000. And it's like, it can't be normal summon a set. You basically have to get like 10 cards in your hand, and then when you get those 10 cards, you can like. But then you also have that Tierra card, right? So it's like you have 11 cards in your hand basically, and you put these 10 cards in your deck, and then you shuffle it, and then you have to get your opponent to get all of their cards that are on the field, graveyard, monster, whatever. They have to put their stuff in the deck, and y'all have to shuffle it, and only Tierra can come into play. It's pretty ridiculous. I've been collecting them for like I want to say like 3-5 years, something like that. Probably more like 3 years. Yeah, like officially. Favorite animes for Proud is Samurai Champloo, Lupin the Third, Gundam Wing, Tenchi Muyo, something like that. I'll have to look it up to make sure I say it right. But Death Knight, Moon, and then you are Shad. This is pretty solid. Like, I guess, like, I love Samurai Champloo so much. Like, the colors, the way they are. It ended perfectly, but I kind of really wanted to see, like, an addendum, you know, like, them going further along with it and seeing how they, like, live their lives, like, after, like, a time gap or something. But like Samurai Champloo would be on my favorites too, because that music, the whole scenery, all of that is pretty dope. Then it's like Samurai Jack was pretty good too. It was iconic. And then like Afro Samurai is really good too. It's just kind of like fucked. Like it's kind of really fucked. But then there's that movie Summer Wars. I thought it was really sweet, like because it's like this movie about like this guy going to this girl's family's place because she like wants to be like, I have a fiance, and she's known him for a while. And then and then there's like this weird glitch that happens that has this huge mathematical problem, and he ends up being the only one to solve it at night, and it comes to find out that he solved a problem for a virus to like go through all of their stuff, and he has to fix it. It's pretty wild, but the reason why is like he's also like big math nerd. He's like one of the main people that won all their math competitions and stuff. I like the I like how it was. And then there was like Kiki's delivery service, and also I fucking love One Piece. I'm at like 989 right now. Like I just restarted it so I can watch it with my partner. You know, at like 103 right now. It's pretty dope. Yeah, Samurai Jack was awesome. For real. I might end up doing an edit of it, actually. Like, just all the cartoons and stuff that I've liked. And yeah, Naruto is awesome. Also, the Dragon Ball Z was cool, but when bandwagoners became fans, it made it. Yeah. It sucks when that happened. Because it's like, I don't know, it's like. People like things because they get popular. I get that. But at the same time, there's like. It's kind of odd because there's this like energy around when people like stuff in mass, you know, and they think like it can do no wrong, or like they only really care about like one specific thing or whatever, and they like nothing else matters or whatever. I'm just kind of like, why can't we all vibe, you know? Like, legit. Least favorite show. Thinking about it. I don't really be watching stuff I don't like. Like, but I guess I could say that that zombie one, it was like DXD or something, High School of the Dead, because it was very like 2-dimensional. It was just tits, zombies, and blood, gore, basically. And I mean, I know that that's a lot of like zombie stuff, but it's just kind of like, damn, that was like, these are like teenagers, and they're doing this shit, you know. There's also, honestly, I really don't like Game of Thrones. I don't like it. I watched up to like season 7, and the whole basis of it all just like pissed me off, because it's like a lot of it is just graphic awfulness, and then it's wrapped up as being, oh, it was medieval, and like, you don't have to do that, you know. It just seemed very, I don't know, I'm like really tired of so many media being like, everything has to turn to shit, everything has to suck, because that's how writing goes. Like, I actually fucking hate it, and whenever like anything is so dastardly, like everything has to suck, I actually check out. Like, truly, like, I actually check out of it, like, because it just doesn't seem like, why would I watch something that's fantasy and not even fantastical? Like, it's literally just making me depressed. You know what I mean? I really like Code Lyoko and Kids Next Door. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. We were just talking about animes before, but I like all. Like, they should write. They should have better writing, you know. Like, FLC and a Shell. I like those a lot. Home movies, Cowboy Bebop, Coast to Coast. I haven't seen Space Ghost. I know it's Cowboy Bebop. I like that. And Home movies was actually pretty iconic, for real. Aqua Teen, Hunger Force. The homies say, oh, when the gullies want to scream. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's like The Simpsons. I like it more than I like Family Guy, American Dad, because it seems like because Lisa and Marge and stuff, they have more of a, you know, like an everyone talks and they really like try and show like the opportunity of like genuineness in it, while American Dad and Family Guy are kind of like everyone's terrible, ha ha, we're terrible, laugh at it, you know, and it just kind of really sucks because they're like, because I mean, in American Dad, the dude, he cares more about his family than Peter does, obviously, because Pete, like, the way that Family Guy is about always bringing down Megan is so gross to me. I actually hate it. And like The Simpsons, it was also the whole thing about Bart like choking his kid. That shit still sucks. Like I can't laugh at that, you know? In the Cleveland show, like, man, there were all white people doing that. Like, are you serious? Gonna have a whole black family, just a bunch of white people voicing it. Like, are you serious? That's why it was so jank. God. But then, like, Seth and all them, they don't really care about, like, shit like that. Like, it's kind of like, it's more about the shock factor than, like, writing over the time, and it just pisses me off. Because why would I want to watch something where I just hate the characters, you know? Yeah. I haven't seen Tulsa King before, but I will definitely check it out, because I appreciate y'all's references and stuff, so I know y'all like something for a reason, you know? But yeah, like, a lot of stuff, it goes so far into it being like, oh, we're edgy, it's so funny, but then it's like, because of that stuff, that rhetoric, it literally reinforces that that thought process of being like, oh, it's a joke, so like, because I frame my maliciousness as a joke, it's funny. And yeah, like Boondocks got canceled, but then they have all of this stuff, you know, in it. And it's like, I also think about like how Moral Oral, it was like, there was a lot of like sketchy stuff in the thing, because they made like a joke about like serious things that was like, what? But then it's like, because it was talking about the depravity of how people use God to treat people wrong, which I do appreciate. I watched like a review of it. I was thinking of actually doing a thing over it to like talk about how I felt about it. But it was also like, but it's stuff like Moral Oral getting canceled after it got more serious and tried to actually like address these concerns and really like show a story within it. You know what I mean? You know, that shit is, yeah, like, all good jokes contain some truth, and that shit is downright demanding sometimes the way it's delivered. Yeah, like, it's just the way that people go about things can be really important. And I think a lot of people, they're like, they'd rather just be like, oh, it's just a joke, instead of like actually thinking about the joke, you know? And South Park, sometimes they're hit and miss, but at the same time, they do play into that kind of like way that Family Guy goes about it, in the sense of it's satire, it's serious, you know, and then they don't really, they just laugh it off, and then like a bunch of like people who don't actually get satire, like, I get satire, and then they're like fostering all this nonsense, you know. And yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, Uncle Ruckus was like something else, and it's sad because people that really like that. And it's like also like a lot of stuff too, like throughout the Boondocks, there's like some like things about like people being gay and using it as an insult and stuff like that. And it's just like, it was a product of its time. It wasn't the worst, but at the same time, it's like, dang. I like really consume that media, you know. And yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, it just kind of bothers me how people they like they focus on being offensive and calling it funny instead of actually being fucking funny. You know what I mean? Like it has some chill stuff too, like because Seth Rogen and them they were the same. There's some stuff that was just like, holy fuck, like why would you put that there, you know? Because honestly, Adult Swim actually like concerns me with the amount of people that they enable. Like, because honestly, with Rick and Morty and stuff, that one of the guys did like this weird fucking reenactment of like using like a doll and like taking advantage of a baby, and people were like, "Oh, it's whatever," and I'm like, "What the fuck you mean this whatever?" You know? And then like the other guy as a whole like known abuser too. So it's just I've been over it. There was a bunch of red flags. The weird because it's like you can kind of tell when people they go so far and there's like red flags about it, you know what I mean? Like when they go so far that it's just absolutely terrible, no mention, no reason, just like, hey, here's this really shitty fucked up thing to put in your face. You know, and that's what a lot of shit is. And I think it's like desensitizing people to like what shouldn't be accepted in society in a kind of way, you know? And Sunny in Philadelphia, I honestly didn't watch it that much, but I also get that it is about how like these people are terrible and we're seeing their lives like play out because of how they act. And it had some funny clips and stuff. I didn't watch it like that much, so I can't like go like in depth about it. I just kind of am generally concerned about how media like feeds us to us, you know. And then that is like the depravity that most shows display is condoned because most of the tasteless things that happen is accepted by society, and when they complain, it's just masked to spark more controversy. Yeah, you're right. You're completely right. Like, you know, I liked My Name Is Earl. I like that. It was cool because it was like this dude who was trying to get like redemption and trying to do all the good things he needed to do or wanted to do after like he won a ticket, right? Like he won like a lottery ticket, so he had money to go everywhere he could to like try and fix his mistakes. I thought that was interesting. The bit about bread and speakers for this show. I have to look at it. Look at Kanye West when he made this thing. The man was on every damn news station. Yeah, like it's like a lot of people just want to broadcast depravity because that's what sells, and it's actually like pretty fucking sickening, you know? Like it makes me really sad, honestly, because it's like one of those things. It's like, why is it such a hyperfixation for our society to enable bad, right? Like, why is it such a thing that they have to do, that people have to put out, that people have to like enable, right? Because it's more of a people can versus because they should kind of thing. And I really despise it, like, because it normalizes these things, so it's normal to people when they, you know, like look away from the screen, you know. And people say that's not what they're doing, but that's exactly what they're doing. And we as a society really need to think about what we consume because it actively affects our thought process. You know, it normalizes what we're used to. It has like this whole conversation of it all, you know? And I just don't. It's just so fucked and annoying and pissant bullshit to me. Because it's like, the amount of times I've had someone get really pissed at me for being like, you're acting like a piece of shit. You know, like, basically, you're like, you're making excuses for being full of it, and it's like they can't actually bring up any actual genuine justification for their malice, you know. And then they get mad at you for being like pointing out the shit, and I'm like, why are you doing shit that you don't want people to talk about if it's like, you know, it's bad, you know? But you like, I don't get people like pretending that it's not bad just for their own benefit, because it's like, you can't really even do that, you know. Crowd says, also they will make excuses for who knew what they were doing when they made statements of such by labeling them crazy as something else. Mental health is nothing to joke about. Yeah, exactly. It's nothing to joke about. And like people, they use that as an aside and throw people with mental illnesses under the bus. Because they want to do the big hardy har like justify their nonsense for whatever reason. It's so fucking annoying. Like, it's literally so, like, I actually really fucking despise it, because it's like the amount of times people act like what we do doesn't matter when everything we do has a ripple effect. Like, it literally does. And yeah, it is called gaslighting. You're right. It's just so, like, holy fuck, like, I hate gaslighting so much, and hijacking is so fucking annoying, because then and it's so weird, because people, they'll try and make it about them, and they'll have all the tears for, like, being held accountable, but then they don't want to actually do the work to not be, like, considered a piece of shit. Like, how about you just don't do that? How about you actually think about your actions before you do them? Maybe people won't talk about how you're full of shit that way, you know? It's kind of, it's very, like, I feel like it's really obvious. It's just that people are avoiding the answer because they don't want it. You know, and that's gaslighting, you know. They don't want the actual answer. They want their answer. They want what they want to project onto you to avoid holding themselves accountable. And that shit will always piss me off. Like, truly. Yeah, saying something sucks, but still participating, keeping what sucks relevant, like the irony. Exactly. It's so hypocritical and ironic. And then it's like, I think the thing that really bothers me is people they'll be like, on one hand, they'll like be like, put Trump in jail. And then the other hand, they'll be like, blasting R. Kelly's music. Like, what the fuck? No matter what you give people, the fickle nature within will always exist. I hear you. I feel like it's like a learned behavior of like ignoring like accountability, because a lot of people are taught that too. Like, because, you know, I always think about how some people do this do as I say, not as I do kind of thing, but they'll take it to the extreme in the sense of like they'll act a type of way, or they'll do something that is actually wrong towards their children, and then it's like they'll ignore it, or they'll be like don't worry about it, or they'll be like, why are you even worried about it, kind of thing. And I think that because of that brush off of people's like feelings as children and stuff, it like fosters this resentment, and it just teaches people to be like to other people, you know what I mean? Kanye is the gay fish. Yeah, that gay fish episode was something, and it really showed the point of how he'd do anything to just like, even if you didn't get the joke, he'd go so far just to prove it. And then it's like how his response did not help that case either. That's the sad part. And I think it really bothers me because a lot of people are like, oh, his mom died, so that's how, like, dude is a grown ass fucking man. And he should be held accountable for his actions. He literally put his family in danger, showing people's address and shit. And then not respecting privacy and space. And like grandstanding with his kids in front. It's like, yo, like, I really feel like there's obviously people in his ear enabling this, fostering this kind of thing. Because he's surrounded by yes people along with his enablers, his stands, or whatever. People like that in general always are. And people are obviously benefiting from using his platform to blast this nonsense. And it's really sad because he's being used, but he's also like pulling mess that is hurting a bunch of people across the board for his own narrative. He doesn't know how to articulate what he's trying to explain. His delivery is horrible. Yeah. It is actually terrible, because I think that when people keep getting called a genius and they don't actually act like geniuses, in the sense of like they don't actually think critically, in the sense of the word, amalgam of nonsense. And yeah, it can, especially when you get like so much that you need it anymore. It always becomes like having more, having like, and then like getting bored with having luxury, right? Just get in this rabbit hole of nonsense. Himself in the foot every time he speaks. Yeah, he does. It's fucking sad, because it's like, honestly, I remember way back when it was like, you know, inside my Dark Twisted Fantasy album days. And I remember listening to him in Runaway. And I thought he really cared, really thought about things, but then it all like just, it shows he was just another cog in the corporate machine for this nonsense. But I mean, music industry, a lot of people are being used. It's really sad, being fostered to like enable awfulness for their agenda, for their label, for whatever. And it's so sad, because it's like, damn, we could really use this platform for something, and it's just a bunch of people like acting like, you know, the crabs in a hot boil. They're always pulling each other down instead of like actually lifting each other up to get out, like make their own ladder and shit. And people keep doing that, and I'm like, does it really have to be like that? You could see the turn of the tide with him throughout his album Late Registration. I hear you. Like, damn. Like, also, like, I still remember when he enters Taylor Swift. Yeah, that was kind of odd. Like, it's like I kind of understood it in a way, but it was more about, it just seemed more about his ego than anything else, you know what I mean? Like, it seemed more like he wanted to be on stage to like say some shit versus like really be about like wanting to support other black people, wanting to be like supporting Beyonce and stuff. It just seemed like he could have gone about that any other kind of way, a genuine way, and he didn't. It was about making it about him, even back then. Honestly, you know, I am working on a video about my thoughts on the Kardashians and Kanye and all of this stuff. It's just he keeps doing shit, so I have to keep adding on to it. Like, but it's so fucked, and I need to just put it together and then just post it when I'm ready, and then it'll be done instead of me like waiting for more shit for him to do. When you are around yes men telling you everything you do is right and okay, then you become Kanye. Yeah, literally, that's that's literally how it works. It's this obsession with being right instead of like acknowledging that everyone doesn't know everything, you know. And that's such an issue that I don't think it's addressed enough. Like, there's so many people in this world that we could learn from, and then people want to act like they just know everything. Like, what the hell? Like, is the ego really that fucking big? That it has to be like that? I don't think it has to be. I think a lot of people lie to themselves. And they use yes people to lie to them too, to justify their nonsense. And it's like, I don't know, I just can't imagine not having this little inkling of this is wrong. Like, this is, but I can't ignore that enough times, it ends up going away. Yeah. Legit. Like, damn, I just don't get being I just don't get being malicious. I don't get being intentionally awful or willfully inverse right there, you know? It's like, I really hate how whenever, like a thing gets addressed, oh, this is an ism or a phobic thing, or whatever, and there's always people trying to play, like, this weird oppression Olympics in the sense of, like, they'll try and, like, put one over the other or something, and I'm like, can't we just say it's all bad? It's all shitty, and we should do our best to, like, get rid of all of it? Like, why is it always someone trying to justify one thing while also condemning another? Why don't you just condemn all of it so we can finally get rid of all of it? Like, I don't get why people think that enabling hierarchies doesn't also add more hierarchies, you know what I mean? It's so hypocritical and nonsense, and it's like, I know that a lot of schooling and media and stuff fosters these kinds of things, but it's just like, holy fuck. Yeah, celebrity culture really fosters that, because I think that's how they do it. They keep them all divided, being full of shit. So no one asks questions, no one goes against the status quo, and it just keeps fostering the same nonsense. And everyone's competing with each other, so they're so busy doing that, they don't even really care about the things that they're doing. And there's so many people like that, especially sons of celebrities, and it's just sad, truly. I'm thinking I'm gonna end this in like 10 minutes, just as a heads up, but I really appreciate y'all listening. This was a really cool talk. And I forgot to mention my other Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So it was like, I got a Machine, Cyburst, and Thunder deck. I got a Dragon, Worm, Pyro, Winged Beast, and Spellcaster deck. Just because, like, a bunch of them, but I thought they all fit pretty nice. Then I got deck. And then I got an Insect, Plant, and Rock, and Psychic deck. And then there's this one called Random. It's literally random. It's like basically every one of the ones that I have, like all of the extra cards that I put together. But it works pretty nice. Like, there's just one card I fucking love though. Like, let me look for it real quick. It's like called Soitsu. And the thing is, like, apparently totally unreliable. He wonders if he has incredible potential. It's like a fairy type. It has an attack 0 and a defense 0. But then I have this card called 0/0 Rock. It has this ability. It's like your opponent cannot target face-up attack position monsters with 0 attack for attacks. So it's like I could just have it like so like frustrating with this card in the random deck, and it's just so funny to me. I think it's like total vibes, truly. And yeah, it's really cool. And yeah, like the competitive nature is hella toxic. That's also why you got people out here like wearing like, you know, having fashion right and then not wanting to tell anybody anything that they got, you know, like being like, I don't even, like, they literally avoid answering folks and all that shit because they'd rather because they literally rather just like not even try to like be like, hey, yeah, I got this from like this place, or like, you know, like resources or anything. It's really fucked because it's just it kind of reminds me of the same people that were like, you know, like big art types that like will do anything they can to push down up and coming creators just so they don't get like pushed down or whatever. You don't have any more of your cards. Man, that's so sad. That sounds awesome. But I mean, you know, there's like a bunch of Duel Link stuff you can get on, like on the app. I'm trying to get like a bunch of my friends to go on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Link so we can all play together, like online across the board. So I don't know, maybe like Pokemon is some of that too. But I know they got what is it? The game that you can walk around with. Pokemon Go. Do you play that? Yes. I've really just been like playing my Yu-Gi-Oh cards against each other the whole time. It's very fun for me. It's been raining really nice lately. Mm-mm. Mm. Da, 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 da. Yes. Da, da, da. That's so good. It was pretty bad. You stay safe and blessed too. Take care. I hope you get good rest and good rest tomorrow too. Hope you feel better soon. Yeah, like end it later. Hope you all have good days. Um, I hope that the day goes by nice or the night, however, whatever you're doing, you know. I hope that everything works out, and I hope that things are really genuinely nice. And like, I truly believe that the world doesn't have to be awful. I think that if we're all just more mindful, it could be really nice to be here. You know, it doesn't have to be hell on earth. It could be a heaven. Thanks, appreciate you. Man, this is what though, like for real. And I got to tell y'all about my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And yeah, anyone who's listening back or whatever, let me know what you think. Talk with me about whatever. I'll always go through the comments and like talk with people and stuff because it's really nice. I like conversation and I enjoy seeing what people think and like going through all other things to see what happens. That's why I try to bring all walks of life together. The world has enough division. Exactly. Exactly. That part. I've participated in the fighting before. Me neither. I. It's like I don't want to play into these twisty games at all anymore. The streams about liberation, yeah, I see that. I hear it a lot. It's really nice being around these streams. It's nice to talk and really like have these conversations because I don't know. A lot of people just don't want to say what they're thinking, and it like fosters this fake um nonsense because people aren't talking enough about it to really figure out what's going on, or figure out how to fix it, or figure out how to like combat the awfulness, you know. And like, I think like if people, I said like so many times, sorry about that. It don't matter. Like, so many people really learn to listen when they talk to people to have a genuine conversation. I think things would go a lot. I understand the sad truth though. Some people don't really collect it for the greater good, and that's fucked up. Yeah, it is so fucked. Like, it's literally people saying they don't care. And like, the worst part is a lot of people will be like mad that you're like pointing out that they don't care, and they act like they care, but it's like they literally don't. You know, it's like put the work in if you really want to like do it. You know, I hope things work out. I think they really can. And you know, despite all the nonsense that's going on and everything, I'm wishing well always. And I believe in us. I believe in humanity. I believe in everything. I can't change the world, but I can change what I can. A small impact goes a long way. Exactly. You get it? I'm gonna do my best too. Later, yo. Be safe, yeah? Thanks for listening.